When negative seller feedback is really a product review and how to get Amazon to remove it, on today's episode of the Invisible Hand Seller Podcast.
Welcome to the Invisible Hand Seller Podcast, where we discuss selling on Amazon and eBay, as well as content marketing strategies. Now, coming from the Absolute Advantage Multimedia Studios, a man who has one finger in many pies, yet his daughter still can't explain to their teacher what dad does for a living. Your host, Thomas Kramer.
Welcome, everyone. This is Tom. My second episode on the Invisible Seller Podcast. Trying to get used to this. Really wanted to do a podcast, but I get a little nervous trying to get in front of a speaker like this, or a microphone, and just really want to. I've been really thinking about what I want to talk about in my episodes, and I don't want to make this just an ordinary show about tips and tricks on selling on Amazon and or eBay. But really wanted to, as I stated in my previous episode, to bring a little bit of economics and kind of delve into the background of why we do the things we do. As I stated in the opening monologue about reputation and feedback, as well as product review, I've noticed some interesting things coming through on some seller feedback, and been really working with Seller Central's contact to get some issues resolved on feedback, and I'm going to explain here shortly. But wanted to delve into what I was talking about. Is one of the things is we want to always compete on price and a good product, but the major component as well is competing on our reputation. This is a reputation economy now. So people are looking for reviews. They're doing research on product, research on quality, research on the seller. This is why Amazon has a seller feedback and a product review, because people are looking for a good product, and that only can help us bring us up to be a better customer. Better seller, as well as better customer too when we're buying as well. But when I first started selling on Amazon with my wife, I was hesitant to ask for feedback because I didn't know how the product was going to go over, and I just kind of like put my foot in the water and say, you know what, no feedback is good feedback sometimes, and you were just afraid. So the feedback really trickled in slow, and I really didn't pay no attention to it. But now I'm realizing that I really have to be more aggressive in actually asking the customer for feedback, and also asking for a good feedback. And how you do that is by asking to rate your seller feedback not on the product itself, but how, number one, we've communicated to them, if we shipped it in a timely manner, if they received it in a timely manner, and that any issues that may have came up and they contacted, that we got back to them quickly, as well as hopefully answered their questions. If they were looking for a return, instead of being quibbling about it, the best thing to do is either get them to return it, or sometimes I just tell people to dispose of it or give it to charity or whatnot. Because to me right now, as I'm building this business, reputation is important, and giving that customer feedback and giving the customer the best absolute response possible is very important to me. And I think that's starting to pay off in a few more sales, and we are seeing our business growing. And generally, this is the kind of the slow time for the year. But going back to what I was saying about being a different type of show, as I said, the Seller Podcast is about we named it the Invisible Hand Seller Podcast, which is based on a great, I would say, economist and philosopher, and that would be Adam Smith. So what did he have to say about things such as feedback? Well, he didn't have Amazon back here, but let me give you a example of what he said in a book prior to The Wealth of Nations. It was called The Theory of Moral Sentiments, which in effect was not really related to economics, but looking forward, today's thing, that the actual two books are intertwined, because we're trying to have a virtuous business and have a reputation business, as well as an effective business. So here's what he said about that. And this may or may not apply to what we're doing today, but I think it's very interesting. Now, this is from The Theory of Moral Sentiments by Adam Smith, 1759. And he's talking about of the character of virtue, consisting of 3 sections. This is part 6, and I'm just paraphrasing a paragraph from that. He says, the care of the health, of the fortune, of the rank and reputation of the individual, the objects upon which his comfort and happiness in this life are supposed principally to depend, is considered esteem and goodwill, which these naturally excite in the people we live with. And this is also goes along with the care and the health of the fortune, the rank of reputation of the individuals, the objects upon which the comfort and happiness in the life are supposed principally to depend, is considered as the proper business. Did you hear that? Proper business of that virtue, which is also commonly called prudence. So Adam Smith had a lot to say with it, maybe some words that we don't understand, but it is important that we have a rank, our reputation, our fortune depends on reputation. So this, I don't know if Jeff Bezos kind of had this in mind when he built the feedback and rating system, but we really need to pay attention to it and see what we can do to do this. But once again, my episode was talking about the issue on when seller feedback becomes product review and product reviews become seller feedback, because we're finding that many customers are actually doing what we call product reviews in the seller feedback. And mind you, the seller feedback should be based on, as I stated before, how we help the customer, any issue, how we responded to the customer, how we've dealt with any problems, and just how we follow up. And also, to me, the thing is getting the product shipped in time and that they receive it as they expected, on time, and in perfect shape. But generally, a customer will give feedback, product review on the feedback. And I've run into that where I've had bad feedback, but it was really a product review. And I must say, to me, it was pretty much unfair because the person really did not take the time to read the description. And I know if you're finding the same thing, that people just do not read. I've tried to make my descriptions as plain as day as what they are getting. And I've also put that in the initial email I sent to them saying, this is what you've ordered. Is this what you wanted? Because I'm going to give them every opportunity to cancel the order. Yes, I said that. Give them every opportunity to cancel order so you don't have problems down the road. This may not work as well if you are a FBA seller, but right now I'm not an FBA seller. I do some FBA, but most of my product is shipped from our home. But what I've run into is people giving us product review instead of feedback. So unbeknownst to me, for over a year, I had a few bad feedback and really just chalked it up. And, my first thing was to respond back to them and give them, hey, listen, this is not what you think it is, blah, blah, blah. And then I decided to contact Seller Central and have them resolve it. And everything I've asked them to remove, because I said it was product review instead of feedback, they've honored. And now I've actually increased our feedback score to like 4.9%, 100% over the last 365 days and more. So it works. In fact, I've actually had a 1 feedback, got it removed. And then recently I've got a 4 feedback from a customer, And I actually thought, well, in the past I thought 4 was nice, but the way she wrote the feedback, it was product review. And on top of that, she was not the end user of the product. She was buying it for her daughter, and she admitted readily she knew nothing about the product that we sold, but yet gave me feedback on the product. She had no intention of using the product, but gave me feedback, or what I would say product review within the feedback. So I decided I do not want that feedback, even if it was a 4. She marked that the item was shipped on time, but did not want that 4 because of what she wrote. And Amazon removed it quickly. Now, I want to give you a feedback I got recently. It looked like it was on March 6th. This is what feedback for the seller should be like, our customer service. And here's what it said. And this is, I think, part and parcel to me is how I'm started using Sales Backer to email the customer at least 5 times from the start of the sales to when they get it, and then after the sale, asking for feedback as well as asking for product review. And I think this comment that you're going to hear has a lot to do with what we've been doing with our email system. And here's what I did. 5 stars. Very pleased with both the product and the service. This company seems to understand and embrace customer service. I won't hesitate to use them again in the future. And then that was such a great rating. I responded to him and thanked him kindly for the feedback. So this is what feedback is for. So what you need to do is kind of set this up in front when you're dealing with customers, when you're selling to them. Tell them what feedback is, what it entails. Give them bullet points. Shipping on time, product received on time, answering questions, things of that nature. So you want to deal with that head on, so that they give you the feedback. And if they have a problem, they can contact you just as soon as possible if there was an issue. Believe me, that goes a long way. There's some people you can't help all the time, but you might be getting more feedback on people that normally would not give you feedback just because they just don't do it. I don't give feedback on everything I order from Amazon as well. So this is a really good point, and really wanted to talk about that today. So if you, and I actually went back to one that was a year old, where I had a 1 rating and really didn't know what to do because I was still getting used to Amazon. So just 2 days ago, I asked Amazon, I said, this is a product review. Can you remove it? And they removed it immediately, and it was even though a year old. So what happens though, the opposite? Let's say you get a product review and it's in a feedback. Is it, it's a 5, it's product review, but it's within the seller feedback. Well, guess what? I'm going to keep it there even though it's really a product review because I got a 5. So it doesn't go both ways. I'm going to take it for what it is. But so that's what's important is really getting that feedback and working with Amazon to make sure that you are getting the fair ratings on the product. This episode is brought to you by Audible, who brings you audiobooks like this.
This book contains proven steps and strategies on how to sell physical and private labeled products on Amazon. Amazon is one of the largest e-commerce platforms that provide a perfect solution product for everyone in the best available quality and price range. No wonder why many sellers prefer to start an authentic online business with Amazon with quick and easy ways.
This is an excerpt from the audiobook Amazon FBA, Learn the Secrets of Selling Physical and Private Label Products on Amazon, available on Audible. Sign up for your 30-day free membership and download 2 free audiobooks today, including this book. Go to absoluteadvantagemultimedia.com/audible or x.co/audible to take advantage of this wonderful offer. Okay, take 2 on the second section of my audio podcast regarding the seller feedback as well as product review. I had recorded this already and wasted a lot of time because I had the wrong microphone on and wasn't really listening to myself on that. So I've got 3 microphones I'm running, my Audio-Technica cardioid, and then I also have my USB headset, as well as I do have my video camera that has a microphone on it too. So I didn't know which one I was recording on, but it sounded terrible. So I'm just going to redo this again and make it sound a little better. Anywho, the second section is just kind of giving you 2 things to try to get better feedback and avoid bad feedback. Bottom line, this is what we're going to do. So I use a service. Let's first about trying to get good feedback, as well as, let's step back. Let's not go there yet. Let's look at if you have bad feedback already. And I define bad feedback as it could be feedback that brings down your 5-star rating. So that could also mean a 4-star rating. 4-star rating can be bad, but only if the person does a product review on you, on your feedback, as I stated earlier in the episode. People, if they give you a bad product feedback and it's based on a product review, then they haven't done their research and reaching out to you to solve the problem before giving the feedback. So I actually had one where the person gave me a 4-star feedback, only because, first of all, she wasn't even the end user of the product, so she didn't even know what the product was about, but yet gave me a 4-star feedback and said that this wasn't a particular product she would use and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how can you give a feedback on something you're not even going to use? So I thought, I don't want that feedback. It's actually a product review on something that she did not use. So I asked Amazon to remove it, and they did that. So you want to really look at your overall, not only look at the really bad ratings, but look at ones that can, affect your long-term rating as well. Now, if you're just starting out and you get a few 4 or 5, maybe you want to keep that. But right now, I'm at a point where if I see a 4-star rating that has a product review on it, I'm going to get it removed. But if it's a 4-star rating and it's based on customer service, then I have no choice, and then I deserved it probably. But so what I do is I went back all the way to the beginning and searched all the ones that had, bad ratings, or 1, 2, 3, or 4 ratings. Obviously looked at the 4s to make sure that they were true customer feedback, seller feedback ratings, and then I looked at all the 1s and 2s and 3s, and then reviewed to see if any of these were actually product reviews. And then for the most part, every one of them was a product review. So I just went and asked Amazon to remove it. And it's really easy. So what I would do is go to your feedback portion and you should know this, feedback portion of your Seller Central account. Go there, click into the feedback, and then scroll down and find your order ID numbers. I would actually just copy and paste them into a notepad, put those down, and then you want to go over to the search and do contact seller support, or I think you can also say contact us. And then what you do is just go to contact us, and you might hear some clicking, so I'm just going to get you to that point. So in this case, you want to go to contact us, and that's in the search bar up there. And then what comes up is context it. What service can we help you with? And what you're looking for is one that says selling on Amazon, listing and selling on Amazon. There's a right arrow right there. So then you click on that, and then you have a choice between customer orders, fulfillment by Amazon, products and inventory, your account, and other issues. In this case, it's customer orders. And then the next thing you would say is top solution. What if the buyer claims blah, blah, blah? What if I don't? See, they really don't. So what you want to do is none of these apply when you first do the top solution. So you don't want to click on that because that's just frequently asked questions. We want to get right to customer service. So you then take your first order ID number, You can copy and paste it into provide or select a recent order. So I'm going to go ahead and copy one in here. I'm not going to go through it because I'm pretty much cleaned up anything that I have, but I just want to get you through that. So that's what I have. And tried doing this earlier, and I'm having problems. So I'm seeing if Amazon got it fixed. Oh, okay, so here it is. And it's going to ask you what I can help you with, and it gives you a chance. Canceling an order, contacting the buyer about an order, getting paid for order, returned and refund issues, shipping delivery issues, A to Z, claim issues, other customer order issues. In this case, I can't really, there should be another section is removing feedback, because this one probably doesn't have any feedback on it, but what you want to do is say remove feedback. And then the next section will say, give you a free form to explain why you want it removed. You don't always have to do that. And then the section also says this was a product review, not feedback. You want to click on that, put your comments in there, send it off. Simple as that. Amazon can automatically do it right away, depending on if they see some other things in there. Like, for example, the customer may have said that it didn't come in time, but yet the tracking order says it did. If they see that, Amazon already knows the thing was shipped on time and it was arrived on time. So if that's the case, then you have that should automatically trigger that it's going to remove it. But if that doesn't work, then actual manual eyes or human eyes will take a look at it. And generally, it's about a 24-hour turnaround. And so far, of all the ones I've sent in, because I thought it was a product review instead of seller feedback, I got all of them removed. So now my rating is at 4.9 stars, 100% feedback going all the way back to over a year old. So that is the first step, is getting rid of your feedback, that bad feedback that you don't want. As I stated maybe earlier, I didn't even know about this existing. I just kind of accepted for what it was. I said, they gave me feedback. What can I do about it? And you just kind of take your lumps. Then I realized Amazon wants your product to succeed as anyone else. And if a person's giving you a product review and the seller feedback, they don't want anything to do with it. So they're very open to remove that. Now, the second thing that I do to get and request good seller feedback, and also to head off or avoid getting bad feedback. And that is, not only in your description are you trying to give all the information to the customer, and I admit I probably need to do a little better on this, and I'm still tweaking to make sure that there's no issue and no confusion. But as I stated, people do not read. Bottom line. So I'm trying to give every opportunity to the customer to understand that what they're getting, and if they are unsure of something, they don't understand anything when they get the product or have any questions, I make sure that I am available for them to ask questions and reach out to me. So I'm using a third-party software company to get my product get my email messages to the customer, and that's called Sales Backer. There's other ones out there called Feedback 5, and right now I'm drawing a blank on the other one. They're well known as well, but I was kind of intrigued by this one because they make it a little simpler to not only, because you have different campaigns that you can work with, either campaigns to request feedback, campaigns to get product review, or both. I elected to do the campaign with both because I really want to build the feedback. I've got 2,200 products. Yes, you heard it. 2,200 products that I need to build feedback on. Product reviews on. So I would like to continue to be aggressive in doing this, and proactive is the word, not progressive, proactive in getting requests from customers. And I'm finding out very few people, without asking for it, don't leave feedback, don't leave product review. But even when asking for it, it's hard to get. But I've seen an uptick, and that's the main thing I think is really good. So the Sales Backer, you get it's not really a free trial. You get a free account where you can get up to 120 emails sent out a month. Well, 120 emails seems like a lot. You say, well, I don't sell that many, but if figuring that you want to send 4 or 5 emails per customer order, that can add up pretty quick. So right now I'm still on the free version. I'm going to move to the $19 version, which is like 1,000 messages a month. With right now, that's probably enough for me, and the ability to attach an item like a PDF or a Word document, which to me is a good sales point. You can give them something free, give them instructions, maybe even a guarantee or warranty you can put on that. I actually had a customer, in this case, gave me a superior feedback, but also had a question about how to start her project, because there's different, in the community that I sell in, there's different ideas on how to start this particular project, whether you start in the middle or in the corner. Won't go into detail on what that is, but so luckily my wife had wrote a article on this, and I also have it as a PDF on my site. So I gave her the link to that article that pretty much answered her question, and so that was good. Also I attached, and I didn't do it through this program because I don't have the paid service yet, so I just went through Amazon, because you can do that attached as well, and sent her an attachment to explain to that, and she was thrilled. And I might need to step back. I misquoted that. She actually sent a message to me, and I responded immediately and gave her that attachment, that link. And then she came back with the best 5-star rating, and I was so pleased that she was happy that I reached out to her. And so that really speaks volumes of customer service. Going back to Sales Backer, so I actually have set up 5 different email messages. One is, now the default settings are they will send a message upon shipment. Well, I wanted to send a message upon when they ordered, and there is a little delay in it. And I also I'm a seller fulfilled product, so this may not work for FBA fulfillment, but I told the customer, thank you for the order, wanted to reach out to you. So this is what I told her, and I said, and it could be a he too, I'm just saying her because most of my customers are female. Thank you for buying the product name. We value your business and strive to offer the best quality product and top-notch customer service, as we want you to be completely satisfied with your purchase and our company. Please note, in order to give you the best buying experience, we ask customers to completely review their order and know what they are buying. Our product is blank in the title or blank. It is not this. We do not supply blank, blank, blank. I'm not going to tell you this. If you purchased our quality product thinking it was this, there is still time to change your mind. By clicking the link below, you can request cancellation of order within 2 hours of your order time. Remember, we ship fast. So I'm giving that customer opportunity to make sure that I triggered in their mind, did I read this description carefully? And since I decided to do this podcast, and I've been kind of going through this quite a bit, it actually worked. The customer came back and said, I assumed it was this. I did not read the description, and I apologize for that. But I thank you for clarifying for that to me, and I really appreciate it. Could you cancel my order? So guess what? I canceled the order. It was, I lost a sale, but I got rid of any hassle that I have a return on my hands, the cost of the shipping back to me, and then who knows, the product might not be usable again. So I'm willing to sacrifice that sale before it even ships to the customer. So that's what I do. So that's the first email we send out using Sales Backer. The next email I send out is right after I ship. And once again, it's pretty much the same paragraph. We value your business and strive to offer the best quality product and excellent customer service to give you complete satisfaction with your purchase. You can review and track the status of your order as the link below. And then I just say, let us know if there's anything we can assist you with while you wait for your package. And I put some blurb in there, get your dust off your movie because it will be in your mailbox soon. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the movies that this product, people can use it while watching a movie. So I'm not going to get into detail on it, but that's just my little humor on that. And then the third message is, now I'm going to ask for feedback from the customer. The first 2 messages, I'm talking about feedback. I'm talking about, not talking about feedback. talking about what can we do? Customer service. We want you to be satisfied. Reach out to us. Those are the first two messages. Third message is the same thing, but it's now I'm asking for seller feedback. According to our records, you should have recently received your product. We strive for excellent customer service, so if your order arrived on time and without any issues, we would really appreciate if you please provide us with seller feedback. It will take less than 30 seconds. Thank you again, and if you have any issues, please reply to this email before leaving any of the feedback. So you want them to reach out to you before they give the feedback. So that's my third message. The fourth message is now I'm looking for a product review request. By now, Amazon should have already delivered your product. If there is any issue with your purchase, you can reply to this email or also directly contact Amazon customer service. We appreciate every customer and want you to be completely satisfied. Can you do us a 2-minute favor and give us a product review? Basically, that's what I'm asking. And then the last sentence and paragraph says, again, if there's any issues, reply to this email before leaving a review. So I'm just drilling it into them. Contact us. Contact us before you leave in a review. And for the most part, I think it's working pretty well. And then the last message is really just a last follow-up. This is the last time we're going to send an email to you about the purchase. Please leave a product review. The link's below. If there's any problem with the order, please contact before you leave product review. So you see the theme of my email messages. I'm trying to avoid the issues with any type of feedback or product review issues. And this really will do well. This does well for you to get your help bringing up your feedback, bringing up your product review, and then hopefully brings you up in ranking on Amazon as well. So that's basically it for today. If you have any questions, you can reach me at Thomas, THOMAS.Kramer, KRAMER, at AbsoluteAdvantageMultimedia.com. You can also call me at 614-333-6609. If you have a problem with the word Absolute Advantage Multimedia, trying to remember how I spelled that, you can also get me at my personal email. It's TK, T as in Tom, K as in Kramer, Remark, which is Kramer spelled backwards. Kramer is spelled with the K. So tkremark@gmail.com. Feel free to ask any questions, anything that you weren't sure of. I'm there to answer your questions. Once again, thank you. And hopefully we'll have some new, fresher contact, and I get better at doing this. Like I said, this is it's technically my third episode. The first episode was really a pilot test, so I would say it's my second episode. So I'm going to call it the second episode and hope to bring you more contact, more economic, macro ideas, because, like I said, economics is really what drives what we do. So not only is it good to learn, selling on Amazon, selling eBay, but why do we do it? So this is a different type of approach podcast as compared to other people. But I'd like to hopefully bring you some additional good stories. I'm hoping to bring some guests on. Right now I've got one guest on, a person that took her dream and moved it to her reality, and it's based on some passion she has. So one day I'm going to bring her in. We got to get our time together on it. But anyway, thank you, and looking forward to talking to you again. For more information on this episode, go to absoluteadvantagемultimedia.com/IHSP3 or go to x.co/IHSP3. The Invisible Hand Seller podcast was written and produced by Thomas Kramer. The outro music was produced by Scott Holmes. The advertising music was produced by Lee Roosevelt. The Invisible Hand Seller podcast is part of the Absolute Advantage Multimedia family of companies.